Hello, it's time for the news. My name is Bernard Mwanza. The headlines. Pope Francis expresses regret over movements that do not talk about Jesus. Anti-Corruption Bureau acknowledges the existence of political interference in its duties. Malawi Electoral Commission MEC suspends local government by-election preparations for Mansa ward. And in other news, Moroccans protest to demand more earthquake aid. Now the news in detail. Pope Francis has expressed his regret at the emergence of new Catholic movements that do not lead to a personal encounter with Christ. During his general audience earlier today at Vatican, the Holy Father said he is concerned that there are Christians who are more interested in talking about their group or their style than in talking about God. We have a Rome report being read by Charity Chilanga.
The Pope said this is mainly being seen in some new movements that are emerging. He said they talk about their vision of humanity, their own spirituality, and they feel they are on a new path, but they do not talk about Jesus. The Holy Father insisted on the need for the Church to recover the importance of adoration. For this reason, as he has done in other occasions, he suggested that every Christian dedicate time daily to pray before the tabernacle.
The Anti-Corruption Bureau (ACB) says political interference cannot be ruled out in a corruption fight, as most of the cases that are followed by the public involve a huge amount of money and influential and powerful people who are mostly politicians. Director General for the graft-bursting body, Martha Chizuma, has disclosed this at a press conference in Lilongwe earlier today, marking 25 years of ACB's existence in Malawi. She has since openly reiterated that the country cannot prosecute itself out of corruption, but prevention. We have more on this report by Robert Edward.
Since its existence in 1998, data from 2004 shows that the Bureau has worked over 36,000 cases, 71% of which were closed, and the remaining percentage recommended for investigations and prosecution, with less percentage logically concluded so far. According to ACB Director General Martha Chizuma, since 2004, only 425 cases were prosecuted, and according to Transparency International, which is deemed yardstick of the country's performance in a graft fight, the country has since been selling between 27 and 41% performance. She has, however, indicated the need for a paradigm shift in corruption fight from prosecution to breaking down for people to understand the impact of corruption in all sectors, so that citizens should be preventing the vice.
If that now they'll start taking ownership of this anti-corruption fight, and then if we complement that with the other strategies that we believe starting from next year we can start implementing, maybe we can start reducing the suffering that comes as a result of corruption. Yeah.
In the past 25 years, funding to the Bureau has been increasing, but not enough to meet the demand, as government has since 1998 given 35.8 billion waja funding, while development partners, whom most of them pulled out during Cashgate, have given 3.5 billion in the same period. Again, creation of Financial Crimes Court and removal of the requirement to seek consent from Director of Public Prosecutions (DPP) before prosecuting corruption matter have been some of the registered milestones. But according to Legal Director of the Bureau, Crispin Kunga, there are only 3 judges appointed to the division, which is also using Criminal Procedure and Evidence Code, and that there are no subordinate courts. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
The Malawi Electoral Commission (MEC) has suspended all preparatory activities for by-elections in Mwasa Ward. A statement that MEC has released says the decision has been made following the events that tarnished the reliability of the electoral preparatory process. The Commission has further indicated that the by-elections in Mangochi municipality will be pushed to a later date, which will be announced to the public in due course. Jacqueline Saidi has more.
The statement, which has been signed by MEC's Chief Elections Officer Andrew Mpesi, indicates that the suspension came about following the Commission's consideration of its duty under Section 8, subsection 1I and M in conjunction with Section 19(2)B of the Malawi Electoral Commissions Act, as well as the advice of the Attorney General, which emphasizes the importance of ensuring security conditions for a proper conduct of all electoral activities. In an interview with Luntha Television, MEC's Director of Media and Public Relations, Sangwani Mwafulira, said as the Commission is still committed to conducting free and fair elections, they will, in that regard, look into and address all the issues surrounding electoral process so that there should be assurance that the by-elections can be conducted freely in Mwasa Ward.
The Commission has decided to suspend all proceedings regarding holding of by-elections in Mwasa Ward. This is in the view of the developments that have been occurring in the ward. The Commission is going to look into all the issues, and when they are addressed and there is an assurance that the by-elections can be held in a manner conducive to holding of credible elections, the Commission is going to announce a new date for holding of the by-elections. But meanwhile, the preparations for the by-elections in the Central constituency are proceeding as released in the electoral calendar.
Furthermore, MEC notes that they will establish a comprehensive strategy to clear the registration issues in Mwasa Ward, and that the process will involve engagement with NRB, the police, the judiciary, political parties, and relevant civil society organizations. Meanwhile, the Commission has indicated that preparations for the parliamentary by-elections for Lidza Central have not been disturbed by this, and that are still proceeding as outlined in the electoral calendar. For Luntha Television News, this is Jacqueline Saidi.
Government has reaffirmed its commitment towards ensuring that the fundamental rights of all deaf people in the country are upheld and respected. Deputy Minister of Education Nancy Chaola-Mdoko emphasizes that government will continue implementing programs that will support the learning and acquisition of sign language from a young age so that deaf people have full access to information that will enable them to participate in and benefit from the opportunities that exist in the society. She made the remarks when she represented the Minister of Gender at the country's commemoration of the International Day of Sign Languages in Msimba. We have more on this report by Tandiwe Mzumara.
In her remarks, the Deputy Minister of Education noted that it is important that deaf people access information related to health, human rights, disasters and emergencies, and all information regarding matters that affect their lives. Chaola-Mdoko said government will not allow persons with deafness to continue to be sidelined in national matters, let alone in matters or decisions that affect their lives, by denying them access to information, and as such, the issue of training of sign language interpreters remains a priority.
We are committed to see to it that the deaf are not left behind. Everyone knows that it is the wish of His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Makabe Jakwera that we should not leave anyone behind.
MANAD Chairperson Robert Mbendera emphasized on the need for the country to be inclusive and have a conducive environment for all deaf people to realize their potential, and having adequate sign language interpreters in all sectors would be a good start to ensure effective communication. Commenting on the sign language interpreter trainings that government will be conducting, Mzimba District Council Chairperson Morgan Tembo has assured that by 1st of December this year, they will have employed at least one of the trained interpreters at their offices.
We're going to employ we will have one of these people that know about sign languages, so that those that need sign language, they will come and they will be assisted at the offices. Not only at the DC's offices, but we're also talking about the hospitals and other places where people seek services.
Deaf people form a significant proportion of Malawi's population, and by 2018, there were about 377,790 deaf people in Malawi, a population believed to have increased. For Luntha News, this is Tandiwe Mzumara.
You're still watching the news on Luntha Television, but we'll be back shortly.
personal growth to business solutions, there is no limit to what you can imagine. It's time to reimagine banking. Centenary Bank, our bank.
Luso Technology yatibweretsera nkhani yabwino. Lilongwe, Luntha ndi Mzuzu, chimwayi chofuna kuphunzira ntchito zamanja chomwe takhala tikudikirira chija chafika. Kuyambira pa 6 November 2023, Lusotech ikhale kuphunzitsa makosi akumtima kwanu, ndipo pamapeto mudzalandira certificate ndi zida zoyambira kuma repairing courses. Ndipo 85,000 mudzalipira makosi awa: ICT, computer, tailoring and fashion design, electrical and solar installation, audio production, video production, phone repairing, computer repairing, electronics repairing. Pamene 200,000 mudzalipira makosi awa: plumbing, welding, catering, komanso course methodology. Registration ndi 5,000 kwacha. Kuti mulembetse, imbani foni pa manambala awa: 0995 54 5449, 0995 54 5449, kapena 0888 114412, 0888 114412. Olofikani kuma ofesi athu omwe ali ku Lilongwe White Falls pafupi ndi Admark, pamene ku Luntha City Plaza Building floor number 3 ulimbe kumeneko. Pamene ku Mzuzu mutipeza moyang'anana ndi main gate ya msika wa ma hardware. Masiku anotu somangokhala manjalende, tiyeni ku Lusotech.
Introducing the Central Equipment Identity Registry, CEIR.
Yes, the CEIR will empower mobile subscribers and strengthen their security by allowing them to block or trace stolen mobile phones, check the genuineness of a mobile device while buying, and blacklist mobile devices involved in illicit activities across all mobile network operators in Malawi.
Wow! Chingira! Put your mobile device security first.
For more information, contact Macra via email dg@macra.mw or call 261 toll-free from any Malawian telephone network. This message is brought to you by the Malawi government via the Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority, MACRA.
Welcome back, and you are with me, Brennan Mwanza. As we proceed, let's take another look at our main stories. Pope Francis expresses regret over movements that do not talk about Jesus. Anti-Corruption Bureau acknowledges the existence of political interference in its duties. Malawi Electoral Commission MAC suspends local government by-election preparations for Mansa ward. And in other news, Moroccans protest to demand more earthquake aid. The African Institute of Corporate Citizenship, AICC, says it has registered a tremendous change in empowering cotton women farmers in Balaga district, where gender inequality was still a challenge. AICC Communications Officer Godfrey Pumbwa has told journalists in the district that with the use of gender champions, a lot of women are able to reason with their men to participate in decision-making processes, especially on issues that concern family finances through their farming activities. From Balaga, here is Rashida Matandika.
Much as gender equality is being accommodated in most areas of development, rural women are still facing challenges to be trusted by their partners on decision-making. AICC noted with concern that cotton farmers had this challenge whereby men could take control of all the finances realized from selling their produce despite working together as families. Since the introduction of the Women Economic Empowerment in the Cotton Value Chain project, there is a balance, and according to Godfrey Pumbwa, AICC Communications Officer, decision-making for women is vital in family and community development, which is now in the process of being achieved in the area.
What we saw as a project, in the first phase, there were challenges to do with gender. Women were not able to make decisions and were also not empowered economically. So in this phase, we are focusing on the women to make sure that they are empowered economically. Decision making is also vital in the family, and we've seen that women are now able to make decisions. I think you've also heard from one of the ladies that you talked to. She wasn't able to attend meetings, development meetings, but now she's able through the trainings in gender that AICC in collaboration with We Effect has been providing here in Malaga.
One of the gender champions, Angela Jusab from Ngwaru village under traditional authority in Samara, said she was once a victim of isolation whereby her new husband could not allow her to take part in any development issues out of jealousy, but now she's able to make decisions, and as a champion, she has cancelled over 250 families that have given freedom to women.
Some women had similar problems like mine, and they started coming to me to seek help. I gave them counseling, including the men, and now things are different.
Apart from championing gender equality, some groups are into poultry business for income generation.
Right now, we have not started making profits from our poultry business. We are just getting manure. Our goal is to have at least 500 chickens because we shall be able to make the desired profits.
Through the project, AICC also advocates for better cotton prices for farmers and helps in accessing better markets for them while making sure that they are using improved seeds. The project is being run by AICC in partnership with We Effect with monetary support from Swedish Embassy, Ethiopia. Rashida Matandika, Luntha TV, Baraka.
Police at Kanengo in the capital, Lilongwe, are keeping in custody a family of innocent Mbewe for allegedly killing a 6-year-old girl for rituals. Confirming the development to Luntha television, the station's spokesperson, Sub-Inspector Gresham Ngwira, said the child, Lois Tembo, reportedly went missing on October 21st, 2023. He said the police moved to swiftly investigate the matter after the mother had reported the incident, which led to the arrest of the suspect. Our reporter Emmanuel Chosha caught up with Sub-Inspector Ngwira.
On a sad note, it is true that we have arrested a couple for being connected to the murder of a 6-year-old girl. This is true. Innocent Mbewe, aged 19, and a woman who is said to be his wife, aged 15. First of all, what happened is that 2 days ago, we received a report from the mother to the deceased that the girl had gone missing. Now, since then, we have been investigating, trying to trace her whereabouts. Unfortunately, while still investigating, on a Monday, we received a tip that her body had been buried in the house belonging to the suspect in question. And we hurried there, and where we did found the body buried in the house. So while working at the scene, we were again informed that the suspects were not within the area. Rather, they had gone somewhere in area 24. So we again rushed there and arrested the 2, who are still in custody. And as soon as we're done with paperwork, including taking statements from complainants and caution statements from these suspects, they'll be taken before the court of law.
And finally, in other news, hundreds of residents of the Moroccan town of Amis have protested against local authorities weeks after a deadly earthquake destroyed their homes. Amis, located 34 miles, is about 55 kilometers south of Marrakesh, was one of the hardest hit by the 8th September earthquake. Chari Chilanga reading a BBC News report.
The earthquake was the worst to strike Morocco in more than 60 years, killing nearly 3,000 people and leaving thousands more injured and homeless. The residents accused local authorities of delaying aid and neglecting them. Following the earthquake, authorities put up displaced families in tented camps, accompanied by a promise of financial assistance to help rebuild their homes. But the protesters now say they cannot continue living in the camps as conditions are deteriorating, with heavy rains and winds hitting the region and temperatures dropping as winter approaches. The protesters also accused local authorities of withholding assistance, including tents from some of the residents who lost their homes. The group said that authorities had promised to speed up assistance, including providing new tents to those who had not previously been given any, and those whose tents had been damaged by the harsh weather. They also pressed to improve sanitation at the camps and provide the displaced with access to water and electricity.
That item also concludes this edition of the news bulletin here on Luntha Television. But before we go, let's take a fine look at our main stories. Pope Francis expresses regret over movements that do not talk about Jesus. Anti-Corruption Bureau acknowledges the existence of political interference in its duties. Malawi Electoral Commission MEC suspends local government by-election preparations for Mansa Ward. And in other news, Moroccans protest to demand more earthquake aid. This has been Brenad Mwanza, and our producers were Vincent Kwagwala and Hobson Gambetta. And thanks as well to Andrew Pound in the final control center. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs.